Good morning. This is Erica Foley, Director of Project Management Services here at Behringer Technology Group. Today, I'm going to present our webinar on CRM for distribution powered by Microsoft Dynamics 365. Before we talk about CRM for distribution, let's get acquainted with Dynamics 365. Within the Dynamics 365 platform, we have four basic modules or areas of functionality. The first is sales, which includes our leads and opportunities, accounts and contacts, quotes, orders and invoices, products, and goals. The next is marketing, where we manage our campaigns, marketing lists, campaign activities, and sales literature. The third module is all about service, and this is where we manage our cases, our queues and routing rules, our service calendar, knowledge articles, SLAs, and entitlements. And the fourth area, which spans the entire platform, is made up of dashboards and reports. When we look at the account form in Dynamics 365, we see many different details about our accounts. An account in CRM for distribution can be a customer, a ship to, a supplier, or a vendor. Accounts can also be prospects or other organizations that you interact with on a regular basis. The account details and contact info for that organization are displayed prominently on the screen. And in the middle of the screen, we see our timeline, which is where we can see all of our notes, tasks, phone calls, appointments, and emails that are related to this particular account. The timeline will display all of those different records in the chronological order in which they were entered, starting with the most recent first. Contacts that are associated with this account are displayed in a grid on the right, and any individuals that are associated to the account are displayed in this list. And then we also have addresses, including billing and shipping, as well as billing and shipping preferences and map capabilities built into the application. Account details, just like any other form within the Dynamics 365 platform, are accessible via a web client or via mobile devices. So the same unified interface is available to all of your end users, no matter where they log in from or what device they use. This layout that you see on the screen here is available both in the web browser as well as a tablet, and a modified responsive version of this interface is available on your smartphones. Now, the activity types that are displayed in the account timeline include our notes, which can be text or files. They also include our tasks, which are to-do list items or actionable items, our phone calls, which are inbound, outbound, and voicemails, appointments, which are meetings and conference calls, and much more. Notes include a title, the note text, which is a free-form text field with no limit to how many characters are entered. Attachments or photos can be added into the file window at the very bottom of this screen. So when you're using the Dynamics application on a mobile device that has a camera built in, there's a button available to embed a photo as an attachment to a note. An appointment, also created from our account or contact timeline, includes many different details, including who's required, who are optional participants, the subject of the appointment, the location, the record that this opportunity appointment is regarding to, and appointments can be regarded to opportunities, accounts, contacts, or any other type of record in the system. Our actual end and start date and time, our actual duration. We can have attachments, we can have meeting notes, we can do a lot with this form here. And just like any other form in the application, the form layouts are very flexible and configurable. So anything that you see on the screen can be tailored to fit your business model. The next type of activity available in the timeline is an email. So emails can be created using templates that are built into the application. Emails can be free-form. They can include pre-built signatures, pre-built templates. They can include attachments, and you can save an email as a draft prior to sending the email. And then we also have phone calls, which can also be created directly from the timeline. A phone call will include the subject, who the call was from, who the call was to, the phone number that was called, the direction, whether it was inbound or outbound, as well as the description of what was discussed during the call. And if the call was outbound and resulted in a voicemail, an option will be presented to denote that a voicemail was left for the contact that you called. Next, we have tasks, which are to-dos or actionable items. A task is simply a subject with a description of what the action is that needs to be completed, the record that the task is regarded to, as well as the duration of how long the task took to complete. A task can be scheduled in the future, so you could plan for a 30-minute task to be completed at a later date, or however long the task may take to complete. When a task is completed, it becomes part of the history, and the task is included in the timeline in chronological order, along with all of the other activities that we have already seen in prior slides. The next up is a contact form. When we look at contacts, these are the individuals that we are interacting with on a regular basis. A contact can be related to a particular account or organization. And when we look at the contact information, we can see their timeline as well. So any tasks, phone calls, appointments, and emails, or even notes that we have recorded for this particular individual will be displayed in the timeline in chronological order. For contacts, we can also see recent cases and opportunities. So these are any cases or opportunities that the contact has been directly involved in over the last 12 months, as well as personal notes. So anything that we want to add to a description about this contact, perhaps what their favorite sports team is, hobbies, or personal interests that might be worth noting. We also can track their marketing preferences. So do they prefer to be contacted by phone, by email, what their preferred time of day is to be contacted, as well as when they do not want to be contacted. So if a contact lets you know that they prefer not to receive bulk emails, you can record that preference as well. And then we also have the ability to track billing and shipping preferences right here on the same screen. So Dynamics is built in a very strategic way that allows us to separate leads from our accounts and contacts. So a lead can be entered as somebody that we may be able to do business with, but first we want to qualify them and determine whether or not there is a true opportunity for business with this individual or organization. So we enter a lead in a separate form, and that lead can be processed through different stages as it is qualified by your sales or marketing team. When we enter a lead, we can record both contact and company details in a single screen. And again, we have our timeline with the notes, activities, and any file attachments that we want to track, again, recorded in chronological order. We also can record our stakeholders. So these may be other people who are somehow related or involved with this particular lead and the role that those individuals play with this lead. So perhaps they're a key influencer, a stakeholder, a decision maker, just to name a few. We can also denote any competitors that we are aware of that may be also working with this particular lead. And then, as I mentioned earlier, a lead can be qualified, in which case it becomes an account, a contact, and an opportunity in Dynamics. Or if it just doesn't work out, the record can be disqualified to keep a nice, clean lead pipeline. When a lead is qualified and becomes an opportunity, we progress it through the sales stages within Dynamics. An opportunity can have as many different sales stages as your organization has in your sales process. And sales stages can be configured to include different tasks or bits of information that need to be recorded at each step of the sales process. When we're managing an opportunity, we want to make sure that opportunities have close dates and estimated revenues, any sales funnel details that your organization uses in order to manage your pipeline. We want to know the timeline in which an opportunity is expected to close, as well as the stakeholders and sales team members. This information, if recorded at the lead, will carry over automatically to the opportunity, so you only need to enter it once. Any competitors that you learn about can also be recorded here, just like on the lead. And just like dispositioning a lead, an opportunity can be dispositioned as one lost or canceled. Dispositioning an opportunity will pull it out of your sales pipeline, allowing you to keep a clear, clean view of your upcoming sales and revenue. In the service module, we have our case form, and cases are used to manage either requests or service issues. Cases can also follow a specific process, just like a lead or opportunity. And that process is configurable, just like the sales stages that we saw on the opportunity screen. Case details can be recorded on this form as well. And we also have a glimpse of customer details. So everything that you need in order to interact with the customer, including the contacts associated with this particular case, is accessible without navigating elsewhere within the application. Just like we saw on other forms, we have a timeline available. And this is, again, where we see our activities, notes, and file attachments recorded in chronological order. On a case, we manage our SLAs and entitlements. So what is this customer entitled to or contracted for from a service perspective? We can also see related cases. So we can see whether or not this customer has other cases that are currently open, perhaps other customers' cases that may be similar to this particular case and can help us manage this case to resolution. If a case involves multiple issues or we need to create a separate record to track a child issue, we have the ability to create a child case. We can also route cases and escalate cases based on your business needs, as well as adding to a queue. So if you have a service team that is managing cases across the organization, they can work from a queue and simply pull the next case as they become available to work on it. Now let's talk about CRM for distribution. CRM for distribution is a Behringer managed solution that has been built on Microsoft Dynamics 365 and is tailored for wholesale distributors and manufacturers. Behind the CRM for distribution managed solution is another product built by Behringer called DataSyncCloud. And what DataSyncCloud does is it integrates data between your ERP system and Dynamics 365. Dynamics 365 standard features are available for use with CRM for distribution. However, we have added a number of new features and functionality inside of the CRM for distribution solution that are tailored specifically for distributors and manufacturers. And just to call out a few of these examples of new features and functionality, we're going to highlight the cost to serve model, our sales aggregation, our automated customer ranking, as well as some others throughout the presentation. However, you can see here that the list is very long of different features and functionality that CRM for distribution brings to the table. Now, the DataSyncCloud Integration is a cloud-based integration platform that specializes in bidirectional synchronization between Dynamics 365 and your ERP system. Integration points include customers, prospects, and contacts, as well as ship-to suppliers and vendors. We also integrate your customer notes, pricing libraries, quotes, orders, invoices, and associated line items, as well as products or items and components. Data is integrated on a periodic basis throughout the day, as well as an overnight schedule for data aggregation. And we'll talk more about that as we focus in on specific features in the coming slides. Some of the CRM for distribution features of note include our integration. As I mentioned, quotes, orders, and invoices are the transactional items that are integrated periodically throughout the day, including not only the headers, but also the line items behind them. We also automatically aggregate your sales history on a nightly basis, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a few moments. CRM for distribution also includes built-in analytics and reporting and dashboards, automated customer ranking, updated again on a nightly basis, a flexible cost to serve model, We support data from multiple companies, multiple currencies, and much more. We also allow quotes and orders to be linked to not only customers, but ship-tos as well. We have extensible mobile client support, and you'll see that all of the features that are available in the base Dynamics 365 platform are also available inside of CRM for Distribution. Now, what's new in the latest version of CRM for Distribution, and this latest version is number 18, so you can see that Behringer has been specializing in this platform for quite a while. So version 18 brings to the table bidirectional integration of customers, prospects, and contacts. So if you are managing your data from within Dynamics or from within your ERP system, you can rest assured that your data will be in sync no matter where it's entered. We've provided enhanced support for multi-company and multi-currency data. We're recognizing cost and price for Profit 21 service invoice components with updated sales history aggregation for our Profit 21 customers. We also have enhanced CRM for Distribution navigation built in. So as Dynamics 365 evolves, so does the navigation of CRM for Distribution. We've created opportunities from quotes with a single click. We also have optimized our code and indexes to enhance speed and performance behind the application as a whole. We're also allowing quotes and orders to be linked to ship-tos as well as customers, and again, extended mobile client support. Now, taking a look at one of our CRM for Distribution dashboards, we can highlight here that CRM and ERP data is visible in a single application. So this is just a sample of how data from Dynamics, including our open opportunities and active customers, are integrated with the ERP data by looking at our top 5 quotes by customer in a single dashboard. And from our dashboards, we can visualize data with drill down capabilities. So if I'm looking at a single dashboard and I want to drill into one of my charts in more detail, I simply click on the ellipsis. And then I can choose to view the records that are behind that chart. And now we see the chart on the left-hand side and the data that rolls up into the right-hand side. So if we click on any part of the funnel, our chart will update to show the records that make up that piece of the funnel. So for example, if I click on the red part of the funnel, I can see the records that make up that bottom part of my pipeline. So I can see here that I have 2 opportunities that are nearing completion. Now, dashboards in Dynamics 365 are also very flexible and very manageable. For our different end users, we may have different dashboards that we want to make available for each group of users by their different role within the organization. Using Dynamics 365 security settings, we are able to do that very easily. We can also configure our dashboards to include up to 6 different components that fit your organization's needs. So you could have any number of combinations of different charts, lists, other web resources, and much, much more. Now, in Dynamics 365 with CRM for Distribution, we have actionable transactional data points for sales, marketing, and customer service. So as we look at different dashboards that are provided throughout the application, we can see that some are tailored specifically for your sales organization, others for marketing, and others still for customer service. Now, focusing in on some of the features that are available in the CRM for Distribution solution, well, let's start by looking at customer ranking. Customer ranking is based on a bell curve. So each night there's an automated process that runs behind the scenes to automatically rank customers based on a comparison of sales history with all other active customers in your database. The bell curve is configured automatically by default. However, you can manually override the customer rank for selected customers. When we override a rank or a rank changes based on the automated aggregation, you'll notice that the current rank is highlighted as well as the prior rank. So you can easily see if a customer changes in rank. And then we also automatically aggregate the sales for the last 365 days for this customer. Our sales history is updated on a nightly basis. So as I mentioned earlier, our transactional information is integrated periodically throughout the day with a series of processes that run behind the scenes each night to aggregate that information into meaningful, actionable data. Our automated aggregation is rolled up for the month to date, the fiscal year to date, the last fiscal year to date, rolling 1 to 12 months, and rolling 13 to 24 months. And then we display the variance for each one of those periods by default. So when you look at how you're doing this year and want to see the comparison to how you were doing at the same point last year, that information is automatically available for you. Sales history can be manually overridden for selected customers. However, the aggregation is available to you out of the box. Next, we have our cost to serve model, which again is very flexible. The cost to serve determines our customer profitability at a glance. Calculations can be tailored to fit your organization's true costs. So for example, if we look at the different components of cost to serve, we're looking at different activities that are completed based on your interactions with the customer. We're looking at the time that you spend servicing that customer and any expenses that are recorded for that customer. So sales representatives can enter their expenses, their time, and record their activities, and all of that is aggregated into a single cost to serve model. You, as an organization, can choose whether or not you want each different type of activity to be based on a per instance cost, a per hour cost, or a combination of the two. The combination of all of those different costs plus the employee expenses are aggregated to give you a total cost to serve. And then we aggregate those costs based on the month to date, the last fiscal year to date, as well as the current fiscal year to date. Now, as I've mentioned, CRM for distribution includes transactional ERP data readily available right at your fingertips. So, for example, we have our quotes not ordered, our orders not invoiced, our invoice aging, and much, much more. But you can start to see the power of CRM for distribution and all the different values that it brings to your sales organization. And that's CRM for distribution in a nutshell. Thank you for spending time with us today. We hope you saw something of interest in our CRM for distribution managed solution. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out to us at behringer.net or give us a call at 1-800-796-4854. Thanks for taking time, and we hope to talk with you soon.